Hello denizens of YouTube, Mike here, and today I am recording this video from my new apartment. Yay! And it's almost clean, kind of, maybe-ish, yay. But that is not the reason why you clicked on this video, is it? No, the reason you probably clicked on this video is because you saw the title which said PVC Lightsaber and you thought, sick, I'm going to see some sick PVC Lightsaber action. And you, sir and or madam, would be correct. So without further ado, I give you the newest edition, Tsuyoi Hebi, which is Japanese for strong or unyielding serpent. Now, first there are two things, big things about this saber. The first is that you may realize that this is not an original design. You guys may be looking at this and going, hey, I've seen this before. And you are right. This is based, well, pretty much extremely heavily based off of Saberforge's Viper design. In fact, this is my attempt to recreate the Saberforge Viper out of PVC pipe. Now, you may be asking, well, Mike, you've been saying that you wanted to do customs, you wanted to do crossover sabers. Why the heck did you do a recreation of a custom saber from another store? And that is because the customer who commissioned the saber, that is what he wanted. So, yeah, that's the second thing. This is my first commissioned saber. And I am very, very happy with it. I'm very excited with how it turned out. And so yeah, let's just get started. We'll go from the bottom and work our way to the top. So starting at the bottom here, we have this pommel. And you can see this nice little symbol carved in. This is the symbol of the customer's jiu-jitsu school that he is an instructor of. And while this is also an aesthetic purpose, it serves to ventilate the pommel for air and potentially sound if the customer ever decided that he wanted to get sound put into it. And also you can notice right here in the pommel there is some weathering done, and that is going to be present throughout the entire saber. That's what the customer requested. He requested that the saber have a weathered appearance. And when I looked on saberforge.com and I looked at the weathered option, I thought it was a bit too neat. I thought that their weathered look, it kind of seemed like they took the saber and they spun it on a lathe and they just kind of like tapped and they created these circles of weathering, which, don't get me wrong, they look really cool, but I feel like it doesn't really portray the weathering, the normal weathering of a saber from dropping or hitting something or clashing against things, just normal wear and tear. So that's not what I went with for this saber. For this saber, I basically, after I did all of the coats, I took a piece of sandpaper and I just kind of buffed it all up before I put the clear coat on to preserve the weathering. But going back to the saber here, we've got the rest of the pommel, which kind of has like this mini grenade type of grip, just for detail. This ring right here to put my finger there so you can see it. This ring here to cover up the thread, because this is a male adapter piece going into a female adapter piece. So this is just to cover it up, make it look smoother. Have a female adapter piece here, and then we have this 1.25" diameter piece, which I use to carve out the grenade grip. And then we have the hole here for our, I believe it's 12mm AV switch. And on the other side here, you can see the kanji. This is the kanji here for Tsuyoi, and the kanji for Hebi. So, unyielding or strong serpent. And then we just got the two rings here. And then we have our inch diameter choke point with our set screw for LED retention. We have our ring, 6 emitter holes, and then the top here we see the blade retention screw, and then you have the 3 claws that are characteristic of the Viper. And these were definitely one of the biggest challenges of making the saber, because I had to basically make the claws myself. I had to take a PVC pipe, cut it in half, and then I would hit the half pipe with a heat gun until it was malleable, and then I flattened that between 2 wooden boards until it became a plate, and then I would carve the claws out. But I really like how they came out. They actually weren't too bad to carve out and then actually do the detail. And yeah, that was just super fun. Like to finally see them come and flesh out, super cool. Internally, we are running a Luxeon Tri-Rebel with a royal blue and a red. Third space is left blank. Makes to produce a purple color. Using two 3.7 lithium-ion batteries wired together in series for a total of 7.4 volts. And then a 1400 milliamp BuckBlock, sold by Luxeon as well, to act as a current regulator, with two additional resistors put in parallel. Those are wired to the red LED to allow current to flow into the blue. Because as I discovered, even though the BuckBlock splits the current evenly, because the red LED has such a lower forward voltage compared to the blue, all the current was going into the red and the blue wasn't getting anything. At least that's the conjecture that me and people at the local makerspace decided. That we were like, okay, this is why the blue wasn't doing anything when we were initially firing it up. So, yep, I'm going to put a blade in here. Although I'm going to give you guys all a disclaimer right now. Unfortunately, you will not be able to see the color on this saber. I tested this earlier, and unfortunately my webcam is so low quality that it just appears white. It just whitewashes. But figured I'd show you guys in it with a blade. You can see retention screw good, holds fine. But while we're on the topic of hitting and smacking, these claws would not recommend for heavy contact dueling. Or if you do heavy contact dueling, you best be careful, because these claws here, I'm going to demonstrate. They got give. They're not sturdy, which makes sense considering they're just thin plates of plastic. I went for the authenticity of the saber, and with that I knew that there was no way that these claws were going to be durable. But I kept that in mind, and I made these claws removable. So in the event that a person wants to duel with this saber, but they don't want to run the risk of these claws breaking, they can just remove them using an Allen wrench, and then you can just feel free to duel. But let's fire this sucker up. So we have a V4 Infinity Edge blade by Saberforge. I believe this is 32 inch. Illuminates all the way to the tip, you know, super nice. But unfortunately, again, you can't really see what the color is. Really only gives like a little bit of blue here, funny enough. But here, we'll actually kill the lights. And yeah, it's funny. Kind of gives off this blue, this bluish aura. There we go. Okay, so you can kind of see right around the edge here. That is the purple. That's the purple shade that this lightsaber has, and you can actually see it on the wall as well. The wall and what's around the edge of the saber is a pretty good indication of what color the saber is. I'll actually turn on the light here. Also just wanted to point out that 1-inch diameter PVC, excellent, makes for an excellent choke point. Very easy to twirl this saber. Very easy to flourish and feels super comfortable. No issues whatsoever. So, I will also put a link to my Instagram, which will have a photo of the saber in both lights on and lights off, because my phone does a much better job of capturing the color, so you'll get a real good visualization of what the color is. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. Really happy with how it came out. It was definitely a challenge. a lot more of a challenge than my saber, but I welcomed the challenge. It was awesome. I learned a lot from it, and I hope the customer enjoys this saber as much as I enjoyed making it, which was a lot. And yeah, that's it. That is it for this one. Again, this is Tsuyoi Hebi, the Unyielding Serpent, and I will see all of you guys in the next video, which will actually most likely be another commission. I actually just got contacted from someone. So yeah, look forward to seeing another commission saber in the coming months. And until then, take care, and may the force be with you. Always.